devastating weekend of sport.
Yes. How close have you been following the World Cup? Is my question. I guess.
Reasonably close. Like I've been lucky enough that at work we actually have the World Cup on in the office, like during the day. So other than like the early morning matches, like
the 4 a.m. matches.
Yeah. Other than like the early morning matches, but the matches that are happening like during the day, I have seen most of them.
Yes. Okay. So I've mostly been working weekends, so I've been able to catch at least 1 or 2 matches, like if I'm interested in that kind of stuff. So it's been fun, like having that on all the time and just like kind of following along. Obviously, trying my best to watch the Australian matches, and
Australia is getting fucked on times. Is really the.
I mean,
other than like the group stage.
The first game. Right? I mean, the Tokyo game was.
Tokyo was good.
That was perfect time.
The perfect time and the perfect
panned out perfectly for everybody, and the result was perfect. And
everything after that, not so much.
I mean, who we played last? Paraguay. That game was at like 12 o'clock, so that
game was reasonable. But then that game was.
But also, it was on a school day, all that kind of stuff.
It was an average day. It was an average game. It was both teams being like, "Hey, we could just draw this and." We can get away with.
We'll get through.
Yeah, we'll get through. Yeah, 100%.
Well, it turned out if Australia, if Australia had a loss, they wouldn't have gone through. So I guess
no, we would have.
No, I think points wise.
No, even on points because we were the same as what Paraguay was.
No, so if we lost though, we would have got 1 less point.
Oh, sorry, even if we lost,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, sorry, it was either draw or win.
Sorry,
draw or win. Yeah, apologies. Yeah.
Yeah, how did you watch the match yesterday?
I did not. I watched the highlights. I caught up on it afterwards. Yeah, it's rough. I don't know. If so. It feels like it's very much Popovich's management style. Like I don't feel like he ever settled on a starting 11, and he was trying to change it too much. I think if maybe we had just stuck with the style that we had in that Turkey game and then continued to build upon that, I think we would have had a lot more hope overall. I think there's very much some highlights of the Eren Kunda, Metcalf, Geordie Boss. Like I think we had some stellar performances from them, but I don't feel like I guess when you look at the whole thing, like how do you go from game 1 of Turkey, Metcalf and Eren Kunda score goals, and then they both start on the bench for the USA game.
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like for a tournament, maybe there was a thought process like, we want to save our legs and that kind of stuff. But there was like a full week between matches. That's like
there was plenty of
more
time
than people they get like,
and
the
they're
Premier
young.
League and
that. They're reasonably young.
And that should be part of it. I mean, the attrition element. So.
Like even if fucking Cristiano Ronaldo at the age of 46, 42, but 46 is able to play 70 to 80 minutes, and then every time he gets taken off looks legitimately annoyed that he's getting taken off. These young kids can be given that time to play the game.
Yeah, I guess maybe there was like a concession in that match that maybe we're not going to win, so we'll just play with our tactics a little bit, see what these other people have to offer.
It's just frustrating. Kind of like I think the USA is a winnable game. That game isn't that bad if we don't score the own goal. Like that game is winnable. The Paraguay game is winnable. I think we just played too defensively, and people were just too worried about if we lose, we're screwed.
I think the Egypt game was winnable as well. I think
the Egypt game was winnable. 100% was winnable. It's a combination of once again, playing around too much with the formation, playing around too much with players. When Patrick Beach is such a high-rated goalkeeper in general, why take him off for pens? Leave him on for pens.
I mean, I guess the only thing going against him was the experience, and that was.
But even then, he hasn't had the experience all fucking tournament. But he's.
Yeah, but you have experience like doing the. Field work, not an actual penalty shootout.
And then I think Matt Ryan was thrown to the wolves. All the news reports coming out post game is that
Yeah.
Ryan wasn't actually ever informed that that was the plan, that if it goes to pens, he'll be getting chucked in to do it. Like, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a move that is like you're a genius if it comes off, or you look like a fool if it doesn't, because only 4 years ago Graham Arnold brought Andrew Redmayne on during the qualifiers for the World Cup.
But apparently, I was reading something today, that was set up 6 weeks in advance.
Okay.
Like, that was discussed 6 weeks before the tournament or before the time of, hey, if it goes to pens and we've got a sub, I'm going to bring in you one and you're going to be doing the pens. Apparently, Matt
Spend
Ryan,
the 6 weeks.
practicing and researching and having that mentality. Matt Ryan came into this tournament thinking he was going to be likely to be the number one keeper for Australia, and then wasn't used in the tournament at all until the pens for the do or die moment of of our tournament live. Like, that's rough, man.
That is rough. Like, yeah. At least he played in the World Cup, I guess.
At least he got to play. At least he got to play. But yeah, no.
It's rough. I think also the penalty takers, it's wild that 2 defenders took the penalties, obviously missed those. And then from what I saw a report earlier, like Jakarta was going to be number 5. So like the 3 centre backs were going to be the 3 will take him. So which is wild. Because apparently it was like, I don't know, Popovic had a list before. Maybe they were all scoring them during.
But also the people he took off during the game would have been.
You would assume
have been in the mix for those pens. So it's yeah. I don't know. I personally don't think Popovic is the manager to take England forward. It is England to take Australia forward from here. Like, I don't think he is.
I think it's hard to say. Obviously, he's got a solid track record and that kind of stuff, and obviously the style of play that got us to defeat Turkey. I think that defensive block, like defensively, they were pretty good, except they obviously.
But I never felt that
they had mental lapses at set pieces. I think is.
But I never felt because they had the advantage. Defensive stability throughout the other games that we played.
That's true.
Like, I felt that stability during the Turkey game, and I think sadly that was more of a message about Turkey than it ended up being a message about Australia.
Maybe. I just feel like an attack they just don't. One, I feel like obviously Nestori and Kondo is like the up and rising star, and he's just put him in center forward, and when he should be out wider. That's where his strengths lie, and that's where he will be best utilized. I just feel like, but it seems like he wanted to fit the front 3 in, and he didn't have enough spots, so he just put Aaron Konda in there because then he would have all 3 on the field at the same time. Where I feel like he needed to make a decision as to which of those 3 to come on later, and that kind of stuff. I think the injury to Jordy Boss in the Egypt match may have been like a key.
Yes,
thing. I feel like he was growing into the game, and he is definitely one of the Australian stars and that kind of stuff. But I think you have to look on the bright side. Like the Socceroos were a very young squad. Like
100%. And if you look at it, we are such in terms of the money value of our squad, like it's fucking when we go to the Turkey game, like 1 or 2 players of Turkey is like the entire value.
Well, they said 1 or 2 is like the value of the entire Socceroos.
The value of the entire squad. So
which may change after this tournament.
Well, I see we're likely to see Iran Kunda is going to be going back to the Bundesliga, I would guess, on his either back to the Bundesliga or Bayern brings him back and then sells him off.
Bayern have such a good deal. I saw they had apparently they can bring him back for £5 million.
So they can bring him back for the exact money that they sold him for.
Which, why wouldn't you? Because then you can just sell him.
You can bring him back for the exact money you sold him for. So I see Bayern doing that. I see Patrick Beach is going to end up Europe bound somewhere there. I think Jordy Boss is definitely going to find himself in that direction as well. I think overall it's a good build.
Someone's going to buy him.
Yep. I think overall it's a good building World Cup, but it isn't. I think that Australia's had better World Cups. Like, I would say 2022 is a better World Cup overall for Australia than this
Yeah,
one.
probably. I feel like they definitely scored more goals that campaign.
Yeah.
So I think that will probably be held up in a high regard. Maybe rivaling the golden generation like 2006.
100%. And
Yeah.
then
So
in 2022, we had that, we almost upset Argentina. This
yeah,
year, maybe this is very pessimistic of me. It was whoever is getting out of the Egypt or the Australia group. As far as you're going is round of 16 because you're up against Argentina,
Argentina next year.
which
Although Cape Verde, they almost did it.
they almost did it. But at the same time, how do you overrun Messi?
Yeah.
That man is in some freakish form at the moment. He is
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous. So I don't think either team was going to go past Argentina if we got past that
No.
point.
But looking forward to Asian Cup next year, and maybe in 4 years, like a lot of the core, I guess, will still be there. There's like maybe 3 starters from the last match that won't be there in 4 years' time. So that's good. What's your opinion? Who's better, Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo?
I'm a Messi.
Where are you standing on the go?
I'm
You're a
big
Messi
on
guy?
Messi. I'm big on Messi. I don't know. I've never vibed with CR7 as a person. I always find him a bit off for me for some reason. I don't know what it is. But there's also a thing where Messi's just a generational talent, where I think Cristiano Ronaldo had to put in a lot of work, which is admirable. But we're at a point in time where you can't put in the work anymore as CR7. Your body is breaking down and giving up on you, and you're not quite there. I think his first match he had like a 2.3 rating or something for Portugal this World Cup campaign. But then you look at Lionel Messi, and he's keeping up with Kylian Mbappe in beating Mbappe at the moment. He is in per goals per
Goal
match.
scoring,
Which is absolutely insane. Like, if you think about it, Messi has done, since the last World Cup, Messi's done the smartest thing, and everybody said, "Oh, he's retiring in the MLS." He's gotten to acclimatize himself to America, and he's acclimatized himself to that for this World Cup. It's insane. Like, if you look at it that way, like, he's acclimatized himself ready to play his best in the World Cup, and that's fucking insane and impressive.
I mean, really, it was on 2 fronts, it's a very smart move. One, like America getting ready for the World Cup, being used to everything, that's pretty smart. But also, America's like the biggest market you could possibly get into, and he is such a big global star that he is. Obviously, he's launched his sports drink and all this other stuff. So I think obviously that's a good move for him. I think I saw somebody else say online about Cristiano Ronaldo. He is a bit of a tryhard. And I feel like that rubs people the wrong way. Messi just is the best. Cristiano wants to be the best. And that is the difference between those two people. Also, I feel like, obviously, Ronaldo's older. He's 41 or something like that. So father time comes for us all, or for all athletes, unfortunately. And I feel like he's probably closer to the end than Messi potentially is, who his style of game doesn't rely on being peak physically. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to be like running super hard or anything. Like, he kind of,
his positioning and timing is impressive in all factors. Like, it is just right place, right time so consistently that it isn't. Some people, if you did it a couple times, would be luck, but it's not. It is him every time.
But I will say the fans are both pretty bad. They're both pretty 100% for their guy and willing to shit talk anybody who says anything else.
Definitely.
And seeing all the sweet stuff, that's very annoying. And I feel like Portugal is going to get knocked out next round. So
I think so. I think they were very lucky to get through by the skin of their teeth against Croatia.
Did you have an opinion on that?
There was a number of questionable decisions in that Croatia match. I think they're very lucky to get through in the end because, definitely. I will say, like, there are other sports, as probably well known from my discussion, that I watch. I don't watch soccer/football as religiously anymore as I used to. Watching this World Cup, and it's a real bad look of how soft footballers are. Like,
Mm.
they will get like the smallest tap or any kind of physical contact, and they're rolling around on the ground like they've been shot. And it's almost as comical because they're almost like rolling around looking like they've been shot, looking to see if the referee is looking. And it's like, guys, they're not going to overturn it. It's not going to be like, oh, well, he looks really hurt. Better give him that free kick he wants. And
Yeah,
then
that really
eventually,
happens.
either the game gets stopped, a physio comes out, sprays some magic mist on this person's ankle, and then he's running around fine. Or the player gets the message that nothing's going to happen, gets up, starts running as normal. Like,
Yes.
it is really fucking soft and really disappointing, especially when you come from other sports where your AFL,
Actual
your
physical sports.
actual physical sports like contact sports, and players are getting harder hits and just getting up and continuing on with their day.
Yep. I think that's the thing. I think I don't mind if a player maybe plays up the contact just to emphasize that they are being obstructed or something is done to them. But you can't like lie around, leaving your team down a person extensively. I do appreciate the rule this World Cup where they said if you go down, you need to get off the field for a whole minute.
Yeah.
Like because during Australia's Asian qualifying, a lot of the other smaller Asian teams are very happy to try and work the clock down with pretend injuries and that kind of stuff. So that's a positive. I assume you're against hydration break like the rest of the
100%. It's a capitalistic
ridiculous.
ploy. I understand when it's hot. Like, I understand when it's like AFL has it where if it reaches a certain temperature, the breaks extend. They get longer. Like they take the breaks longer. I understand that. But God, when these people are playing in air conditioned stadiums, there is no reason for hydration break. It is so not frustrating, but it is so as a viewer, it is such a disconnected experience to be watching the football and you get 20 minutes into the game and it stops already. And you're like, what? They just feel so disjointed and so poor overall for the viewing experience.
I could see how they thought it was a good idea from a capitalistic point of view. I think I can understand how they thought it was good from a fairness point of view. They're like, some places will be hot and they will need to have a hydration break. But then that's a disadvantage against teams that don't get a hydration break. So we're just going to put hydration breaks across the board and just that'll be it.
But even then, if you ask the players, none of the players are happy about hydration breaks.
No.
But they can't say anything because they get in trouble.
No.
But Virgil van Dijk was the first person this tournament to say, I think this is a sham. Like, I think these are ridiculous. And you can't even say that's coming from like a Mexico team or somebody who's acclimatized. Like, no, it's from a team it's from a European team that should be disadvantaged. That is like, no, we should just play. Just let us keep playing.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of acclimatizing, how do you feel about England? Like, are you going for the old?
Oh, I reckon look, like the pessimist in me is going, we're cooked. England is so cooked when it comes to just this match in Mexico. The first game we've had to play there all tournament. It's going to be rough. Also, Thomas Tuchel is, much like Popovich, is so unsettled with his decisions on where he's playing players. And, now there is the discussion about Declan Rice playing right back because we didn't take Trent Alexander-Arnold, so why the fuck? Like, the longer this goes, the longer the tournament goes, the more you sit there going, how the hell in a squad of 37 is Trent Alexander-Arnold and Cole Palmer not named as two names in your squad?
Yeah.
Like, how?
24.
No, it's 30. It's a squad of 37. Because I was.
It can't be that many.
No, 100%. It is because I was watching.
Initially, but yeah,
I was watching. Who was I watching? Fucking. Roy Keane was like losing his marbles about it.
Yeah.
Because the same thing of how do you not involve Trent and Cole Palmer in? Doesn't matter if it's. I think like if it's whatever the number is, like involving those two feels like it's a must. Like it doesn't matter.
Even 11, it would be like, how do you not have one of them?
Yeah, like I get it that Reece James is injured. I get it as but then it's like okay, but then Eze's been playing for fucking Tottenham. Like it is. You sit there and you go, the fuck, like why is this? Yeah, no, it's just like all English people can say is thank fuck for Harry Kane.
Yep.
That man is single-handedly dragging his team over the line every single time with assists from Jude Bellingham. It was nice seeing Gordon actually stepping up last game and actually having impact with his possessions because he accumulates possessions but doesn't have any impact with them. In previous games, I'm not a Jordan Pickford fan, so we continue to see T-Rex arms Pickford miss goals that he should easily be saving. Yeah. I think. Look, it'll be. My meme has been, and I've said it to people in the office, is of course is the coming home. It's England, but being a realist, it's like it's gonna be hard to looking at the tournament, looking at how Argentina's playing, looking at Spain getting itself into gear last match, and then you just look at France and you go, how the fuck is anybody beating France? France just look like they're playing in training matches all the time. And Mbappe's just kicking goals for the hell of it. And like it's like I don't see anybody like it's going to end up being a France Argentina finals again this year.
Yeah.
And I don't see anybody dethroning either of them from getting there.
I mean, there's always the opportunity for an upset, but like on form and based on what we've seen so far, I think those are the two that will be there. I'm pretty sure that's how the bracket will work out.
Yeah.
So, but on England, I think it's very funny. Obviously, they're already trying to make excuses for the next game because obviously it's being played in Mexico.
In Mexico.
At altitude.
At altitude, yep.
Which is obviously, harder to breathe. Apparently, they're going to be given Viagra, which helps with
I did see
everything in
altitude. That's what I saw. Okay.
Or it could just be a funny meme going around. But
I would say it's more likely a funny meme, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Wild. How do you feel about the Hawks? Are they still got they're still third on the ladder, but this week, woof.
Look, all right. I forgot the game was on at 12, 1:15. I forgot what time it started. Listen, so when I check my phone,
AFL games should not be on at that time.
No, AFL games should not be on that time, but it was in Launceston, so it happens. So when I check my phone at 2:38, and I can remember it because I was fucking mortified at the time, and to see it was half time and the score was 87-9, I was like, oh fuck, that's real bad. Look, mixture of things. I can make the one excuse is that 7 of our top 20 of our best 22 defenders gone. Just not in the game. All injured, or Josh Weddle got himself fucking suspended. So we had a bunch of kids in. Well, can't use that excuse when I also say the one kid we put in, Harry Moraz, fucking great. Really good. Really good debut game in a really poor side. What is frustrating is then Hawthorn goes on in a quarter and a half to remember how to play footy, to remember they're actually quite good at playing footy, and then decide to kick 11 goals in a row and look like they were coming back and looking like the comeback was actually a legitimate thing. That's really fucking frustrating because it's like, well, if you fucks it, and look, it was a pressure and an intent thing. I think Hawthorn came into it not wanting to put in the work and putting the pressure and put in the intent that needed to play the game. Melbourne smacked him at the start. If they didn't give Melbourne that stupid lead in the first half, Hawthorn would have won that game. It's all it is. It's as simple as that. I still have a lot of faith in this team. I still have a lot of belief in where they can go and what they can do. But as a whole, there's some problems. And, we've got plenty of time to work it out. We've had overall, like so far this year, we've yet to play West Coast. We yet to play Richmond. We yet to play North Melbourne. So we've got those kind of coming up in our back pocket a little bit. So I think it's still pretty realistic for us to look at 3rd and 4th as our finishing spots. But yeah, there's still a lot more work to do.
Yeah. Absolutely. On my Lions, I like starting to feel better.
Starting to feel better because they just fucking decide. They're just like, hey, we're gonna play a stupidly good game.
We're
And you're
not
like,
playing good.
You fucks, all right. Like, that's the thing. So we're footy tipping at work, and in my footy tips, I was like, I want to tip Lions, but tipping against Geelong when they're in Geelong is a bad thing to do. So I never do that. I always tip Geelong. I wish I'd tipped Lions. I wish I'd had the mental fortitude, but it looked like Geelong were coming back almost in that second quarter. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. They got such a huge lead and almost gave it up in the same one quarter. So, yeah, I think, being a Lions fan of the last few years, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster that has some really weird highs, but then when things are not looking good, you get very freaked out because
when you let
they should be doing better than they do.
When you let GWS kick 14 goals in a quarter, it's like, oh,
yes,
okay, this
when that happens, you're like, and you can't take on faith any lead or any good patch, and that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Anything else you want
but
to
it
talk
shows
about?
a very good, in terms of AFL, it shows it's a very good tournament this year.
It's very even.
Very
Still
even.
A lot of teams.
When 3 of the top 4 teams all lost this weekend.
Yeah, Fremantle after the massive streak.
Yeah, Fremantle, Hawthorn, and Geelong all losing games. Like it's still a very good tournament. It's still a very good league. Yeah, so it'll be an interesting
I asked
end
you
of
at
the
the start of the season. How do you feel about the wild card round this year?
I think it's a cash grab. Because we already had a problem where there was no way anybody finishing in 7th or 8th was ever going to make a premiership. If we're now expecting a team that's 9th or 10th to make we've made the 7th through to 10th, it's like you guys are just making up numbers in finals. You're telling me that those teams that now no longer get a middle bye, telling me they're
really. The 5 and 6 teams really have an advantage over.
Yes, 5 and 6. Yep. 5 and 6 teams get a bye in between, and then of course the 1 through 4s you get a double chance. So to expect team through 7th through till 10th to get up and make it all the way,
5?
You need to win 5 games in a row during finals with no breaks.
Yeah,
I
can understand because there are more teams now, and there will be more in however many years. You want to have more teams involved in the finals, but I think it just mathematically doesn't work.
The thing that frustrates me is that and going back to the fixture, I think the fixture is frustrating when you can go through the first 18, 17 rounds of the tournament and you're still yet to have played everybody. But you're already playing. We've played Melbourne twice. We've played Western Bulldogs twice.
I think, I saw the report before the Cats game. Brisbane have played Geelong 6 times before they play West Coast again.
Yeah. The fixturing is so frustrating. I think everybody should play everybody once before we start doing double ups. Yeah.
Yeah. Surely that can't be hard to fixture,
You would think so, right? Because
you would think it would be easy.
You would think that would make sense. Fuck, how the fuck does the Premier League fixture their
every other code do it?
Yeah, how the fuck does every other code do it? Seem to do it fine.
Yeah. All right, I don't want to talk my broke codes. Let's talk about Arcade Couch. No, let's record Arcade Couch. That's what the line is.